What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about XRP today. Hit that like button, you guys. Subscribe if you want to see more content like this, and let's get into it. I almost said we're talking about LRO because that's the indicator here. I wanted to start off because I know that I've mentioned this on a few other videos, but I know the XRP community might be wondering what the hell this thing is because I don't think I've brought it up before on an XRP video, or if I did, it was one time. It's called the LRO logarithmic regression oscillator by Chart Prime. If you have TradingView, I think you need premium. I'm not 100% sure, but if you have TradingView and you go to community on your indicators here, you actually have access to this. It's the linear regression oscillator by Chart Prime. Chart Prime is the author, right? I've seen this boost going up ever since I mentioned it, so I don't know if he's gaining popularity, but I like this indicator a lot, guys. It's not that hard to understand, right? What I love about this indicator, real quick, I'll just explain it real quick, okay, is that everything that you see here, you don't even need to look at in the indicator, right? That's the indicator, that's the LRO, but they apply it to the chart so you can literally see everything, except I guess you don't know when you're in the overbought zone, in the oversold zone, to be completely fair, but these blue triangles mean you're building bearish momentum. The blue lines are invalidation level. So if you're building bearish momentum, you're suggested to be in a downtrend. If you want to invalidate that, you have to break the invalidation level. Reversions often suggest that your oscillator here, right? You can see reversion. It's in the overbought zone. And statistically speaking, you would likely revert back to neutral. It doesn't mean that you're going to revert and go up, but generally that is what happens. Not all the time. You can see here reversion, reversion, reversion after reversion, and you still just did not go up. But definitely a lot of reversions in this area on a 1 hour basis. I find that the shorter term time frames tend to be more accurate, though this might not be the best example. And the way that I look at these invalidation levels are not as like strict lines themselves, right? You can wick through them, but you generally find resistance or support on them. Here, for example, is an invalidation level on the 1 hour time frame that you just wicked to, a little bit through even, and you're finding support on it now. This is actually a really good look. And I assume with these reversions down here, with these bullish changes in momentum gaining here, right? You can see that you are gaining bullish momentum now. I guess technically you are losing a little bit of momentum, but from here you might start gaining. Bouncing off of here could be a really good look. We're looking to see XRP move above $2.31 to invalidate the notion of going lower. That's all this is saying, right? If we get above $2.31 on a closing basis, $2.31.5, then yeah, we're done moving lower and we're looking to move higher, at least on a 1 hour time frame. On a 4 hour aspect, we also got a reversion down at the lows here. The invalidation level for this is all the way up at $2.72, right? A little bit steeper, but as you get to these more significant time frames, you're going to have more significant areas of support and resistance. Reversion down here. No reversion here, but that's okay. Just because there's no reversion doesn't mean it's time to sell, right? Or time to buy. There wasn't a reversion at this top, right? Oftentimes in double bottom, double top scenarios, you won't get that reversion. I've noticed with this thing, right? It's not perfect. No indicator's perfect, but I feel like it is pretty damn good, honestly. We're going to look at XRP. Without it, I just wanted to show that 1 hour time frame and just explain that indicator because I'm going to be using this indicator a lot. Just casually. I won't explain it. I won't introduce it like I did every single video, but like I do with the RSI, I'm like, okay, looking at the RSI, yeah, it looks like it wants to go down. We got lower highs here. We got higher highs there. That's bearish divergence. We're right above the 50. Maybe we could go down. I don't know. We've also got this higher trend right here from a low point, you know. And I'm doing all this without explaining what the RSI is or what it does. I'm just telling you what I think of it, right? That's how I want it to be with this. That's all I'm saying, right? So by the end of this week, I actually would expect that XRP pulls up. It's probably going to pull its skirt up a little bit. I bet 3 days, 9 hours left. Yeah, you will definitely be moving up. I think a bounce off of this line would look really nice. Just because it would look nice and just because it's what I think doesn't mean it has to happen, right? Who cares what I think? XRP certainly doesn't give a damn. But if it pulls up a little bit, if it closes the week slightly red, but neutral, very neutral, you will get a precise bounce right off of this line. So that's what I'm expecting. I'm expecting that XRP in the next 3 days, 9 hours, it's down 14.5%. I'm assuming that you pull up. Being down 14.5% means you'll go up more than that, right? Let's see, because 14% doesn't even get you all the way back up to that high, right? To get back up to where you opened, it's like 18%. So I bet you can see a 14% or more move to the upside. Yeah, that makes sense to me. By the end of this, absolutely, that's what I think. Let's look at the 3 day time frame real quick. I don't know what XRP is playing at here, right? I really don't know. At first we were assuming it was in a bull flag, then it was in a pennant, it broke out. Like what are you in? Are you in some kind of bull flag now? It doesn't seem like a bull flag. If it was, you would keep coming down, and it could happen, but if XRP keeps going down, the rest of crypto will keep going down. And so the only way to make sense out of that is if the crypto markets are weak, then XRP could go lower. And it's possible, but I think everything's about to turn around and get real bullish here real soon, you guys. What do I know? I could be wrong. To me, other than the potential for a bull flag look right here, it kind of actually looks like a diamond top. We've been seeing some diamond tops across the space recently, right? It kind of actually looks pretty well like a diamond top. It's not perfect. To me, it looks too spread out to be a diamond top, but let's run with it. Let's run with it to some degree, right? Maybe it's a broadening top, and we're reaching down right now for this, and broadening tops are notorious for what they call a partial decline. Partial declines, or partial rises too. It could be either way. Partial decline is defined as you're reaching for this trend line, but as you reach down for it, you find support somewhere where it's not on the trend line. It looks like you'd reach that trend line, but you just don't go down there. So then you come up and then you break through. Oftentimes, a partial rise would indicate that you're going to break out to the downside. A partial decline indicates you're going to rip up to the upside here. Okay, so maybe that's what it is. I don't know. I don't know what this pattern is, to be completely fair. It's definitely not a head and shoulders pattern. If anybody thinks it's a head and shoulders pattern, you're wrong. It could perform. Who knows? It could perform the same way as a head and shoulders pattern. But no, it's not a head and shoulders pattern. But it is some form of consolidation phase. The key areas that we're looking to break out, I've already talked about them, right? So let's talk about, and I also talked about where I think it's going to be by the end of this week. So let's talk about where you're going to go afterwards, right? That's probably most people's favorite parts. If we look at this thing. Actually, I want to look at it on a weekly basis too. The LRO, again, it's not very useful most of the time on a longer term time frames, in my opinion, my genuine, most humble opinion. It might be good for reversion levels, right? Stuff like that, but it's less tradable, more like it's better for swing trades, less for day trades on these longer term trades, which I guess makes sense, to be completely fair. Look at that reversion here last cycle or 2 cycles ago, reversion here on the weekly, and that was your last cycle high. You got a reversion here now. Could be a cycle ending indicator. It's not. It's definitely not, guys. Because look, you had reversions back here. You had a reversion right there. You know what I mean. It doesn't mean that it's going down, but definitely called this consolidation phase. It absolutely did very well. Nothing to really gain from there as far as what we're expecting to the upside. I was looking for an invalidation level, but I think we've already invalidated it. So whatever. XRP on a monthly time frame, taking our all-time high, our current, well, I guess not our all-time high, which we had back there in January, but our all-time high from 2017, 2018. Right there to the low of this cycle of this consolidation phase here. I wouldn't say XRP. What I would say is that you've already broken out of your multi-cycle consolidation phase. You've already broken out of it. Now you're just resting. You've broken out. You tore right through the 886, and now you're resting above it. This is an absurdly bullish phase of consolidation, you guys. Getting above the 886 almost always means that you're going to at least see your extended targets up here, these lines up here, right? The gray line is the 100 level. That's what started your retracement, right? When you get above the 886, you start looking for the extensions, okay? Generally speaking, it's once you close above it, you see this in a very short amount of time. But also, generally speaking, you don't just shred through everything to get here. So in moments like this, however bullish it is, you oftentimes do consolidate. And if you can consolidate above the 886 like you're doing, that's great. That's really bullish, honestly. If you consolidate between the 886 and the 786, that's fine too, right? So even down to the 618, ripping up above the 886 and then coming back to the 618, that's fine. That's great. It's very bullish stuff. You could even go lower than that, and it would still be fine. But this is definitely the most bullish option that we have. With that in mind, you have already broken out of your multi-cycle consolidation phase. I think it's very obvious this was the breakout move, right? Very bullish phase of consolidation. Whatever consolidation phase you want to call this, it's a head and shoulders pattern, a diamond pattern, a bull flag, whatever you want to call it. It's a consolidation phase. I don't know if any of those are right. The closest one that I would guess would be a diamond pattern, but even then, I don't know. It's just a consolidation phase. I would think in this very bullish phase of consolidation here, even after your breakout move, you'll be breaking out to new all-time highs in blue sky breakout territory, price discovery mode, with this very bullish phase of consolidation. I'm only stepping on a limb here and gonna guess that you don't stop at your bare minimum target from your multi-cycle long consolidation phase. I don't think you stop there. I think you go there, but I don't think you stop there, right? You're at $2.20 right now. $2, if it'll let me get on there, $2 and it's saying $2.19, but whatever. $2.20 right now. That would be a 280% move for XRP. And I expect this to happen over the next 4 to 8 weeks, somewhere in that time frame, right? End of March, middle of April, something like that. That's what I'm expecting, okay? Maybe end of April, it could happen. But this move this move here would not be end of March, right? By the end of March, I would actually think we're above this target. Or maybe I shouldn't even say that. By the end of the move, obviously, I think that we're above this target. Who knows what the time is? You know, it could be the end of March that we're at the end of the move, and in which case maybe we're at 13 bucks, maybe we're at 10 bucks, somewhere in between is more likely. You know, maybe it's the end of April and we're in that zone, right? But certainly by the end of March, I would expect we are in price discovery mode. We're likely going to be above $5, if not above $6. We could very well be above 8.37. But where I think we're going to stop, you know, nobody knows. Nobody knows the exact number. But where I truly believe you're not going to stop is 8.37, right? I want you to be aware that the average crypto, if we look at, let's do this real quick. Let's do this. I'm going to refresh the page. My internet's slow, so we might have to talk for a second. Let's just see. Man, I said that, but I had like false hope in my head that it wouldn't be slow. I might just hit my inhaler. C-Zar the asthmatic. Oh, here we go. Oh, we got to talk about XRP, not XCN. And I need to do it before I forget what I was saying. Come on now, baby. There we go. Okay. Now, what was I saying? Oh, yes. Okay, I remember. So XRP here on this last pump, if we look at this here, from the low of the month, right? Oh, the low of the move right here, right? Not the absolute low, but just the low of the move to the high of the move. You moved up 591%, and that's in January. Let's just go to December because most coins stop moving up in December. 490%. Okay, XRP moved up 490%. I have a purpose. Okay, I promise you, 490%. This will explain why we're going to see targets above $8, above $9. Okay, this will explain it. 490%. This is the others chart. This is essentially the index for the average altcoin. So if this thing moves down 10%, it's down 26% right now. I would assume the average altcoin is probably down about 26%, maybe more, maybe less, but somewhere in that area, right? That's how we go off of this here. That was kind of weird. I feel like I went like, when I did that, I was just taking a breath in and then wiping my mustache off from from the water, but that was like weird timing. Low to high right here. All the comments are getting vindicated. Low to high right here, right? That high was in December. That was 138% move. So you understand, right? In November to December, when we had that last little altcoin rally, the average altcoin pumped about 138%. The average coin did. Some pumped a little bit more, some pumped a little bit less. Some, like XRP, pumped 490% instead of 138%. Okay. This same chart, I'm expecting personally that the average altcoin, in the same time that we're expecting XRP to make its move, I'm expecting that the average altcoin interacts with this 1272 area. Okay, that would mean the average altcoin over the course of March and April, from this price now that we're at the end of February here on the 27th, would grow something about 237% or more. But around there, that's the average expectation that I have for the average altcoin. I don't know about you guys, but to me, it doesn't seem like that hard of a conclusion to draw together that if this thing destroyed the altcoin markets, it did a 490% where the average altcoin did 138% in this last move. I would assume that if the average altcoin is going to do a 237%, at least that's what we're deriving from this, right? You're going to break out to new all-time highs across the space. The bull market's on. You're probably going to see a bigger move than what you saw in November, December. Bitcoin dominance is going to come down lower. It's going to be obvious that the dominance is topped off, right? We could look at that chart too, but I'm not going to because I want to end this video, damn it. 237%. I don't think it's any small conclusion to believe that you're going to see something dramatically higher than that, right? 283%, okay, cool. It's a little bit more. But if you go to like 10 or 11 bucks, like I'm thinking, okay, now we're talking, right? Now we're at a 393% growth, right? That makes a little bit of sense to me. 13% or $13, even there, that's 511%. Hey, if the average coin's going to grow 238%, and you did 490% last time when the average coin did 138%, I don't think 238%, I don't think a less than doubling of that is too far-fetched. And it's your next fib level off of this very significant fib range. If we also take the high to low of the last cycle, which I assume will have relevance as well, it's completely possible that we stop somewhere in between the 1272 and the 1414. What targets come up there? Well, the 200 lines up very well with that. So $13, as much of an unlikely target as it is, as I assumed it is in November or December, as time's gone on, I've only become more friendly with the notion that we genuinely could see XRP at 13 bucks, you guys. It could be at 13 bucks. In the next 8 weeks. It really could happen. I don't think it's going to go there, but I'm more under that assumption now to the point where I talk about it in every video. I used to, if you watch the videos from back here, I mentioned it maybe once or twice, but I often talked about, $8, 641 at a minimum. It's only gone up as we've consolidated more, right? And that's not because it's what I want to see. It's because what I believe will happen, right? I feel like all this video is very sound logic. It makes sense. I don't know. I think it is, right? I don't know. Maybe I'm just saying what I want to say. I don't know. I guess I am saying what I want to say, but it's stuff that you could also watch as I'm saying it, derive your own opinions. 1071 is the minimum target. That puts you at a 381% growth. Again, 283% at your minimum target there at $8.37. Okay, you're above the average altcoin, but I would assume you do more than that. What's the next logical area to go to? It's right below $11 there, and that makes sense to me. So absolutely, I expect XRP to outperform the average altcoin. If the average altcoin is expected to do 237%, I then by default would expect XRP goes to prices above $10. The minimum target I have is $8.37. Again, I think we're more likely to go above that than below that. But I've got nothing else to say. I hope you liked the video. If you did, hit the like button. Subscribe if you want to see more. XRP is probably going to pull up. I bet we get a 14% move up from here by the end of this week. Got nothing else for you guys. Take it easy. Bye-bye.